Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. This is the technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and chart analysis for February 1st. Finally, at the 1st of February. As you can see, Bitcoin is up 0.63% today at 38,662, and that is correlated with the stock market, which is up plus 0.78% today at plus 273 at $35,000. Now, last month was one of the worst months for stocks since March 2020. And it was also one of the worst months for cryptos, probably since March 2020 as well. So these are highly, highly correlated. And people are just using Bitcoin as a risk asset. And if they de-risk, well, Bitcoin's going to go down. So it's really going to follow the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ right now. Some people may not like that Bitcoin's going so mainstream, and it's going to follow the traditional markets, but that's just the way it is right now. I'm hoping that the DJIA has a couple more days of positive movement left in it. It's down 29 points in terms of futures right now, but that's basically no movement at all, and that can easily change within the next few hours as we get ready for Wednesday's trading day. Alphabet reports, which is Google, reports big fourth quarter beat and stocks pop. And they're doing a 20-for-1 stock split. So that's generally good move for the stock market. So Google has very, very bullish news, and that could actually propel stocks. And since Google is a tech stock, it could definitely propel crypto as well. So basically, they beat earnings for the fourth quarter, and they jumped in extended trading after the report. So this was like an aftermarket report. I actually expect the NASDAQ at least to open positive tomorrow, so I expect crypto to open positive tomorrow as well. Now, over during the night, I'm not really sure if it'll rise overnight or dip overnight, but I think in the morning it will actually go up because of Google's fourth quarter report, because that will push the tech sector up, and I think it'll push the rest of the stock market up as well. So if you want to take advantage of a small trade, which I really don't because it's too volatile, this might actually be the tip you need because crypto is following the stock market a lot. So hopefully we can break 39 and then even $40,000 tomorrow. Generally, the fourth quarter earnings for tech companies have been good, so that bodes very, very well for crypto. However, the problem is the inflation problem is still there, and so the Fed rate hikes, and the geopolitical situation hasn't shut down. But at least for the immediate future, Google's report bodes well for crypto. GM also forecasts earnings at or near record levels in 2022. And the chip shortage is easing, so maybe some of the supply chain problems will alleviate themselves back in 2022. So we have a lot to look forward to, and just on a fundamental level, Bitcoin does seem to have kind of turned the corner, hopefully. But on a pure technical level, we've definitely, we on the 5-day, we definitely have actually evened out. You can see we dipped to 33. This was actually before all the reports actually came in. And after all the reports came in, we have been going back up. You can see that right here, essentially since the dip, we have actually been going up pretty well. And the thing is this recent top is slightly higher than this top, but then again, this top right here was actually higher than the first top. But this particular movement pattern right now does look like does definitely look like more of a move up. But the thing is, I want the tops to be a little bit higher. I mean, the top is pretty much the same. The bottoms are getting higher, but we kind of saw this too before it dipped back down. Hopefully Google's report propels it to at least, 42, 43,000 and actually makes it equal with the last plateau. Because no matter how high we've risen, we haven't risen to a former plateau before when we had this rise. Now, this kind of pattern for lasting for since January 24th, an entire week of basically slightly uptrend is definitely good news. But we still need to break 40,000, which we haven't done, and we still need to get to up to 43, 44,000, which we're kind of far from. And otherwise, you can see the volume here is pretty low. So that's still a concern. Any big movement up or down can actually trigger a big effect. So hopefully we can break 40,000 tomorrow, or at least attack 40,000 tomorrow, and hopefully start to gain our way back up as the year progresses. January is over, the first month of each year. Generally not great for crypto. I mean, besides 2018, I guess, which a lot of cryptos actually did go towards their all-time high, but then again, it kind of like dumped right afterwards. So hopefully February is pretty good for crypto, and the technicals seem to indicate to be fairly positive, but to really be positive, we need a top that's much, much higher than 39.3 or even 40,000. On the technical level, the 10-day EMA and the 10-day SMA are actually both buy right now. We stayed above that, but the 20 days is still negative. However, if we move another 1,000 up, 20 days will actually be positive. So we're kind of starting to turn on the daily. But we did do this once before, about like 15 days ago, and then we dumped down again. So right now, to me, it's not really a strong signal to buy or sell. The average directional index is actually getting a little bit lower. It was 44 before, which means the trend is slightly getting weaker. The RSI, the stochastic, and the commodity channel index are all neutral, so there's really not much indication from the oscillators. Right now, I would still say like maybe buy for the next 2 or 3 days and then maybe sell afterwards, because the 20 and the 30 haven't changed. The 50 is still well under the 200. So right overall, it's still pretty bearish, but because of Google's earnings and because of the EMA actually changing for the 10 days and the SMA changing for the 10 days, I would say it's a buy for maybe the next 2 or 3 days. On the weekly, the oscillators, the commodity channel index is still a buy, and the momentum is a buy. The MACD is still sell right now. Overall, I would say it's slightly favoring buy at this point. The commodity channel index at negative 106.03 is actually saying that it's slightly oversold. And the RSI, even though it doesn't say it here, it's under 20, which is oversold as well. So right now, I would say it's a slight buy on the oscillators on the weekly. But the EMA and the SMA on the weekly, on the 10 weekly, is still very, very negative. Like I said, we need to go past the last plateau of 43,000 to actually change that. So right now, I think on the weekly, I wouldn't buy for like a week or more out. I would just buy for the next few days if I were to buy. Monthly, basically the oscillators are neutral. Nothing is really changed all that much. And the EMA and the SMA for the 10, which is the only thing I'm looking at, is actually still negative. So monthly, overall, like year over year, it is still down. However, that could actually change if like the earnings reports for GM and Google and the others' earnings reports propel it really high. I think the earnings reports for last Q4 are much, much better than people actually thought. And that might eventually propel crypto to new heights. Will it? I'm not sure. But that looks to be happening right now. So right now, like if you want to buy into tomorrow and Thursday, maybe it's a good time to do it because the Google reports were actually quite good. But any kind of long-term buy, I would probably still hold back on. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys later.